Yep. Hello, yeah, am I
Hello, yeah, am I
audible?
audible? Yes, good evening, Pallavi. Am I
Good
audible?
evening. Yes, you.
Yes, you.
Can you see
Can
me
you
and
see
hear me
me and
well?
hear me well? No, I can't see you. The view is not there. The audio is perfect.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
give me a
just give
second.
me a
Yes, now can you hear me
Yes,
well?
now can you hear me well? I can hear you. I can also see you.
Okay, just a
Am
minute.
I visible?
Yes, you
Yes,
are
you
visible.
are.
Okay, so
Okay,
let's
so let's
begin.
begin.
Uh,
Uh,
Tell me something
Tell me
about
something
yourself.
about yourself. Good evening, Pallavi, and all the people joined in the session right now with us. To begin with, I mean, as everybody begins with their name, so though it's visible on the screen, my name is Sarabjeet, and I have been working for more than 25 years and have contributed with different roles and responsibilities in the education sector and the allied sectors. What is when I say allied sectors? So I'm saying corporates connected with education sector, corporate trainings, skill training ecosystems, fine, and of course the development sector as well. Uh, my head and heart, the soul, absolutely it lies in what I have been doing all these years. So it's my passion which is converted into profession. So developing people and places is something which I'm very focused always, and it really ignites me, and the fire in the belly never lets me sleep, when it comes to uh, helping them out with their concerns, with their issues, so that the development does not stop in any ways, fine. So that's the kind of passion that I live with all 24 into K. And I am a postgraduate in mass communication and journalism with the education degree, and uh, I am a certified L&D professional and a life and an NLP coach. I have been helping out people with their skill development concerns. And when it comes to skill development concerns, it's not only one particular skill, because human energy is such an amazing energy. And I find that I cannot say that I am going to cure your finger and rest of the hand will get cured itself. No. So I'll have to take care of the entire, hand and the
Okay.
entire body, because the impact of the pain in one finger of the hand is going to trickle down to the entire body, fine. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the kind of input which I always you know uh, give, and I do not deprive ever my people from my inputs. And
Okay.
what more, so as we go along, so we can explore things.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
good to
really
hear
good to
about
hear
you, and
about
it was
you,
a
and it was
fabulous
a fabulous
introduction that you have
that you
given.
have given. Thank you so
Okay,
much,
so
Pallavi.
as
So,
the
as
topic goes
topic
on,
goes on,
before that, let me
before that,
introduce
let me introduce
myself.
myself.
I can hear
I can
myself
hear myself. Yep, there's an echo which is coming to
even I.
me.
Even I.
Can you hear echo from my side as well?
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear
I
it.
can hear it. Echo is there?
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear.
I can hear.
I don't know
I
why
don't
it
know
is there.
why it is there.
Let me just
Let me
check the
just
audio
check the
settings
audio
my
one
side.
time.
Now, can you hear
Now
me?
can you hear
Now,
me?
is it okay?
No, there's an echo. I can hear, but there's echo.
Okay, now is it
Okay,
okay?
now is it okay?
Yeah, that's better now. And is
Okay, but I
my
can
Okay,
still
voice
but I can
going better?
still,
I can
Echo is
hear
there?
I can
myself
hear
back.
myself.
You cannot hear me?
I can hear you, but there is an echo.
Is it better now?
Yes, better. Let's begin. Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Pallavi Dhingra, and I'm an English trainer by profession. I have been teaching online from last 10 years, and I'm into a variety of services, working on the overall development now, as in, though it's begin with like teaching IELTS, then like PT training, and moving forward to it, there are like I give conduct classes for spoken English, creative writing, and like everything related to English. Now the domain has increased, and this is all about me. And I really love to teach. And if someone improves to my teaching, I really enjoy that, and that gives me actually inner happiness and satisfaction when somebody improves to my teaching. So this is all about me. So, as we begin the session and proceeding further, the topic for the day is how to be an effective speaker. So, what insights you would like to give on this?
Uh, Palvi, it's little making me nervous today because you are into language training and I am a communication person. Fine. Uh,
Mhm.
so it's a deadly combination. At the same time, when I'm saying that it's making me nervous today,
Yeah, no
to
worries.
that's on the lighter note. Um, yes, it's always nice to sit across and discuss on on the same and the light subject parameters. So when it comes to effective speaker, there are a lot of things which we need to take into consideration. First and the foremost thing which comes to my mind, and I would like to send this message across very strongly through your this platform. And
Mhm.
we are living in the time of chat gpts. Artificial intelligence
Yeah.
has made people so relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
and the chat gpt is and a lot of workshops happening here and there on how to use chat gpt for your language skills, for your it skills, for your excel skills and whatnot. Fine, so everything artificial intelligence can do. Now one thing which artificial intelligence cannot do is our own uh, you know dislocation from being a speaker. That charm uh,
Right.
that charm cannot I mean, we have somehow not been able to. Chat gpt, artificial intelligence, is not going to take away that from human beings, right? So
Mhm.
if for example, if any of the business tycoons, they have to deliver a session, or prime minister of any country wants to address the audiences, so his presence and his presence with his own words, with his own
Mhm.
sound, with his own expressions is very much mandatory.
Yeah.
Even if ChatGPT was used to prepare his speech, fine,
Mm-hmm.
but that human touch, that human intelligence is something which is very very essential in today's time. So all the people those are feeling very happy with ki chat gpt has come and we don't have to worry so much in developing our language skills because everything chat gpt is going to do for us. They'll have to, I mean, this is the message which is going very loud from this platform, that look, you need to be equally responsible as you were before chat gpt was not there, and you need to continue working on yourself, because at the end of the day, the first person who you lead is you yourself, and the first person with whom people come in contact with, and they try to understand the reality of any subject matter in this world is when we start speaking, when we open up our mouths, fine. So that is
Yeah.
something which we cannot say, look, I am going to send a teleprompter or I'm going to send my robot who would come and speak. Everything is given to you. So this is very clear message from my side, Pallavi. So what would you like to say, because you are training people in English?
Yes, you absolutely said it right. This is true, as we can make presentations with the help of ChatGPT. You can do your homeworks, even the kids can do. People can like prepare their meetings, their content with the help of ChatGPT. But they, to speak and to deliver their message, they really need to have very good communication skills. This is so rightly what you said. In order to deliver the message, you really need to possess good communication skills. You said it rightly. So for that, a person needs to improve and hone up his skills so one can stand different in the meeting and at the workplace, or whether it's in any presentation. So honing and improving the skills is very important.
Correct. Because
Hmm.
I am seeing, students are very relaxed these days, and the teaching fraternity, the training fraternity is getting goosebumps. Are baba, kya hoga? What is going to the future of the language? And are we of any value here now? What are we going to do? What do we do when everything is available now? Even the editing part is available, because editing softwares are there. You give any command, jo hukum mere aaka, uh, and the co-pilot is going to work for you. I'm Anthony on service. Come on, boss, the platter is there. Fine. uh, so what are we here for? So that's the crisis which the fraternity, who is into trainings, who is into communication, the schools, as an institution, they're the first institutions for all of us after the family. Fine. So English is a subject. This sadly has not been taken up as a skill.
You are right.
So since it has not been taken up as a skill, so there are a lot of gaps which we see in the countries per se. In a country like India, like we are all Indian nationals, and there are lot many countries, the Asian belt, so we are native speakers of English language, so we are bound to face problems. I mean, naturally those things will come to us, because the academic uh, excellence may be there in the schools, but the skill excellence is missing. The real application of the subject is still missing.
Hmm.
So that is
You said
why
it
when we
right.
talk, yeah, so that is why when we are talking about today, you and me sitting in and making the subject to public domain, and there's a lot of work as an L&D professional as well in the corporates. I have conducted, I think, many hundreds and hundreds of workshops in communication skills, and I find it, uh, there's so much still to be done, and there's so much to be learned, to be understood, because this is a learnable skill.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
do have so many people in my contacts, my own colleagues, my own family, relatives, my friends, who are English honors. They are masters in English, they are doctorate in English. um, it's very good when I see them that they've got good positions, because the professional academic qualification allows them to take hold of that particular position somewhere, and they deserve the package which is tagged uh, with that job role. Fine. But when it exactly comes to the skills which are required for communication, there are gaps, because these
Yeah.
people who have studied masters in English, they have studied they are English honors, they have done their doctorate in English. Sadly, that's all the subjects are making them so close to English poets, English dramas, English uh, technical part with this phonetics and all that. But what what is the subject, what its subject should be holding when it comes to teaching, when it comes to training, when it comes to applying the subject, excellence to communication in the professional domain, in the social domain. So that
Mhm.
is something which is missing. So there's a gap, there's a
Yeah.
huge gap. So when people they come and they see that अरे बाबा आज फिर एक कोई training होने जा रहा है and communication training है, what is it, am I not a good communicator? The first question which would come out of their head is there something wrong with me? Am I not a
Mhm.
good communicator? What is it, why do I have to attend this program? And I have done my honors, I am masters in English, I'm doctorate, look, I have these many titles with my names, I have these many awards and blah blah and everything, I have these many years of experience with me. Why this training for me, why I should be attending? Let some other people come and attend this training. So that's the kind of thought process which people come with, because they're not able to understand the application part is something which only the people who are professionally qualified, and that too in communication skills. They're not qualified in English honors as a degree, they're not qualified with masters in English, they're not qualified with doctorate in English literature or American literature and etc etc, but they are qualified, professionally qualified with communication skills as a science, as an art, fine. And the wider
Yes.
application of this into the personal and professional lives, the whole commerce, the whole world today is connected because of this particular aspect, whether it is virtually or it is in reality. Because without communication there can be no trade and commerce happening, sitting across the nations, sitting next to the table with each other.
Yes, so like how to encourage these people, those who already wonder, we know the stuff and we know everything, but still they are lacking in. So, like, what can be done to encourage these kind of people?
First thing which comes to my mind is, because everybody who would come and speak on how to be an effective speaker, everybody would come with 5 to 15 points. These are the points which need to be kept in mind, and let's keep on working on them. Of course those points are there, we cannot separate them, but beyond those points there are so many other factors responsible for every individual to be an effective speaker, fine.
Okay.
I'll pick a few of them, and of course, we'll just have a brief on what all, so that they don't feel it. Arey Baba, somebody had talked about this point also. She missed. This lady missed it here. Fine. So I'll also add that, but later. Fine. Now, when
Okay.
it comes to communication and when it comes to how to be an effective speaker, first thing we all need to understand is the first person with whom we start interacting, with whom we start speaking, is our own self.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So people are scared, they are hesitant, they are scared of sitting with themselves and sitting with discussions with their own self. Now this can sound very funny to a lot of people. Arey yaar, aise kaise ho sakta hai? How can this be possible? How can I have a discussion with my own self? Because to discuss I need to have at least two people, if not 20, if not 12. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because this somehow our culture is responsible for not giving this liberty to people right from the initial years of their life, to sit and introspect, to get into intrapersonal communication.
Mm-hmm.
uh, there are a lot of social reasons behind that, we'll not get into that because it's a whole big story behind it, fine. Now this is the
Okay.
first thing which we all need to keep it in mind, that to become an effective speaker we need to spend daily time with our own self. Now, spending time with our own self, I mean to say that have discourses with yourself, sit, get into intrapersonal communication. You take up any subject, any topic of your choice, listen to it, discuss it with yourself, repeat it to yourself, say to yourself what all learnings happened today while you were watching a video, or you were listening to some audio, or you read a book few pages today. Fine, whatever is that, fine. So that
So
would
here,
give you.
like you are saying, as if like suppose I have read a book, I have read 10 pages, then rather than wondering and looking for any partner, I should
Yeah,
just talk to myself like what all are the things in the 10 pages, what I
correct.
understood. Okay.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the confidence which will be generated in you with the new content which you
Yeah.
read, which you watched, which you studied. Fine, and that got assimilated. So how much has it got assimilated in you? Once you get into intrapersonal mode, you will come to know, अरे यार कितना गया था मेरे head में.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes,
uh,
you are right.
that's very very essential. Instead of looking, I have thousands and thousands of people I have trained till date, and the first thing which they tell me is, ma'am, we don't have a partner to practice with. We don't have anybody at home who can, talk in English with us.
Yes. And
How are
to
we?
find a partner in India is really difficult. We live in like such an environment where nobody
Yeah,
prefers talking in English, though it is
yes,
important, but nobody prefers. They say like, That's it, बहुत हो गया, ज़्यादा मत बनो."
correct. हाँ, वो मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला, there is a cultural factor responsible for this particular habit not established in we Indians, and it may be in many other Asian countries population sections as well. Fine. So that's very important. That's the first thing which I would really recommend for anybody, even if somebody is a veteran, still can get into this if he or she has never done it. It is going to make him or her a super energetic person, maybe multiplied by 10 times what he is as a speaker. Fine, in today's time. Second thing which I would recommend is, please make sure that, take it out of your head, that you are excellent because you speak, because you have studied English as a subject. So you don't require any training, you don't require any skill development course or sessions to upskill or skill or to reskill yourself, whatever. Fine.
Okay.
So they need to take this out of their head.
That means like everyone is a learner throughout.
Yes, because
Even us.
I don't stop myself, because every time you sit to understand something, you have a different perspective.
Yes.
And how does one become perfect? How does one become excellent? How does one become super confident? We are talking about how to be an effective speaker. Confidence is one strong ingredient. I would say the strongest ingredient to be an effective speaker. Yesterday, I posted my video on LinkedIn, which is on confidence does matter. Fine. Uh,
Mhm.
this important ingredient comes only once we develop the habit of repeating
Yes.
anything
Practice
which we
matters.
really want to get good with.
Yes. Right.
That's how the mastery takes place. Fine. So when
Mhm.
people feel like अब बस हो गया, मुझे नहीं कुछ attend करना, nothing. Uh, let's talk about, we watched Kapil ka show, and we watch Kaun Banega Crorepati. Amitabh Bachchan is the only host there.
Mhm.
Kapil Sharma is the only host with Kapil ki comedy show. Fine. Now every time they come with a new episode, they are bringing different flavors, and
Yeah.
every time there is a new learning through them.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, because they are also coming prepared. So every time when you're attending some program or you're watching a video or you're going for a live session, so you have a different speaker or maybe the same speaker, but that same speaker is also making efforts every time to upgrade and come with the new content in every session.
Yes, you are right. Practice matters
Yes,
and
so
repetition.
repetition is important. Fine. To be an effective speaker, there is no capsule which one can give and okay, fine, Baba, you have a speech tomorrow. I give you this one particular capsule. You have it in the morning, you have this pill in the afternoon, combine this particular tablet with this pill in the evening, and tomorrow in the morning, with after 10, 12 hours, you would be super speaker. Nothing can
Mhm.
stop you. So there's no
Uh-huh.
such medication available. अभी तक
Yes,
तो
you're
आया नहीं है. Chat GPT has come, but medical science is yet to invent such a drug which can help
mhm.
people, because everybody I find they are in a hurry and they are expecting कि आज हमने पे किया है, tomorrow we should get the 100% results of, and we are able to use the language effectively, and if it is not happening, so there is something wrong with the facilitator, not with us.
Yeah, right. Actually, you are right. So, according to you, like, how long does it take for an average person to improve the communication skills, as per you?
For an average person, I would still say minimum 6 months consistency with consistency.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
With consistency. It's not only the calendar 6 months. Consistency is a must. So if consistency is not there, those many 6 months will come and go. And he'll still find himself sitting at the same level. And he would then say grapes are sour.
Mm-hmm.
This happens in the
Yes.
organizations also because there's a lot of pressure at work, and they feel like yaar ye sab sessions humko kyun karne hain, because they're not realizing it. Tomorrow when some work comes to them, they'll keep on running, hopping from one workstation to another workstation. Can you write this for me? Can you read out for me? Can you help me with this application? Can you help me drafting with this email? Right, all these kind of things. There may be one sweet friend who would help such a hopper. Okay, but then will that friend always be with this hopper?
Mm-hmm.
And if
Yeah.
organizations are promoting such a culture, that's also something wrong. If the institutions from where these people are picked up as for their jobs, and few things they have been taught how to crack the interview, that's enough. Fine. So आगे पीछे इंटरव्यू के बाकी बहुत कुछ है. There's life beyond interview, there's life before interview, and this beyond and beyond interview you have cracked. Fine. So how are you going to develop your skills there? Fine. So it's a constant practice which is required, and there's I mean till date I don't stop myself learning anything new which is coming in this particular domain or the allied domains with communication skills.
Okay, so till now, like you suggest, number one, it is talking to ourselves can help. And number two is repetition of the similar things really help, like repetition matters along
Correct.
with practice. What else you would suggest?
um there are three things which we all are caught up, and we are living a life. Every single expression of our life day in and out is based on those three parameters: what is being taught, what is being thought, and
Mm-hmm.
what is it that we have experienced it. So taught, thought, and experiential learning.
Okay.
Okay, so teaching happens in schools, teachings happen in society, teaching happens in families, in our own family system. Okay. uh, Assimilation of the knowledge, information, facts, myths, they all are happening because they are being taught to us.
Yes.
So what we are going to speak is what we have assimilated in this whole process of you know teachings which have come to us, whether they have come formally or they have come informally, but they have come to us.
Okay.
So our speaking skills will be having the basis and the droplets of all this particular parameter what has been taught to us. Fine. And what is it that we think? ठीक है, मुझे ऐसा सिखाया गया, but what is my thinking? My thinking says that I must stand and raise my viewpoint on this particular aspect which is being taught to us, right? So the ability to design and to stand and raise your voice, that means you must have the ability to analyze and come up with your queries. Do not be a deaf driven cattle. ठीक है, सिखा दिया गया, but मेरा जो सिखा दिया गया, that's enough for me. I don't have, my brain is not working because everything is coming to me. I am just on the receiver side. I will receive only what I want to receive because I want to have my experience of thinking. Okay, so it is coming to me. I am on the receiver side. When I am on the receiver side, my cognitive power, my ability to analyze, my ability to assimilate information, analyze it, and then raise a query. So if that is not there with me, so I'll just be, throughout my life, I'll just be receiving and receiving. I'll never be.
One should be assertive.
Yes. So assertive, I mean, if person is not assertive, sadly, again, if you are asking a lot of questions, I think जब बच्चा बहुत छोटा होता है, parents enjoy and sometimes they even feel fed up of so many questions coming from a child. They have no option except keep on answering to a lot of questions which are coming from a child. Okay, but after certain age, they would expect him to be silent, or the environment would be created such where he cannot even question. Even in the classroom environment also, if he is going to question, so maybe the teacher would snub. In the family would happen the same, in the society would happen the same, because the culture again is not promoting, कि आप अपना दिमाग यूज करो भाई, और जब आपको कुछ सिखाया जा रहा है, you will be having some questions. You want to have a 360-degree understanding of that particular concept or a statement which is coming to you. If you find, you write it down. It is always apples are green. No, apples are red. Apples are yellowish green. Fine, they are not always red. Every book shows apples with red color. इसी तरीके से there are a lot of things which are being taught to us in our life, which keeps on telling these kind of permanent truths. But unless you question that ability, if it is not there in you, so that is going to create problems in assimilating the information, and then later on speaking it, because your speaking will be having the reflections of taught thought, okay, and then experienced. Fine, this was taught to me, this is what I thought, but when I started doing it, my experience gave me a different viewpoint. I was taught while driving, when I learned bicycle, I was taught that, look, while sitting on the seat, you will have to ensure that you're keeping your 1 foot firm on the ground, because if in case you fall down, so you'll be on the safer side. Fine. Now, when this was taught to him, so when he thought about it, he started doing it. So he thought, okay, fine, मैं एक तो रख के देखता हूँ, but let me try putting the second foot also. What will happen if I don't put this? If I don't put my 1 foot on the ground firm, so what will happen? Okay, so he'll keep, if the answer comes to him and he is satisfied with that, he will keep it in mind. and he may try different option, but he would find it okay, fine, let me also try this, let me see, does this happen? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now the third aspect is experiential learning. So experiential learning is when he actually starts driving, he starts applying those taught thought paths, because he's now experiencing on his own. So he finds it there are options beyond these two taught and thought points also. So which he
Mm-hmm.
is discovering while he is now running the bicycle. So he's
Mm-hmm.
going to speak that experience. That look,
Okay.
the bicycle when I was taught, this is what I was taught. These were the instructions. This is what I thought basis those instructions. And when I asked my questions, this is what my parents or my tutor, my instructor told me. When I actually started driving it, this is what I discovered. So there is
Mm-hmm.
a learning. Fine. So it's
Yeah.
going to be, a multi-dimensional approach. If the person is not having multi-dimensional approach right from the beginning, and if people as adults are missing this, so there are reasons behind that, and this can still be learnable. Fine. All they have to do is they'll have to program their mind accordingly now. Fine. Because adult learning doesn't happen that easy, but at the same time it's learnable, it can be done. Fine. Now this is a wonderful principle, so which everybody has to bear it in mind, that look, we need to have multi-dimensional approach, because language is a living media, and
Mm-hmm.
communication is a big subject, which is a science and an art. It's an endless, uh, such a wide ocean. Fine. And it
Mm-hmm.
has got, language itself is multi-dimensional.
Yes.
So communication as a field is a multi-dimensional, approach system. So
Mm-hmm.
this
You
is
are
what I,
right.
so we have time, so we can continue on more points on that.
Okay, so on a short note, can you just tell in a gist what are the main points one should take care of while communicating?
Uh, so it's very important to be natural,
Mm-hmm.
be real, and that
Okay.
reality. When I say be real, I mean to say whatever you speak, please make sure that is with that's backed with facts and findings,
Mm-hmm.
and the elements of truth are absolutely not missing. There's no deletion and distortion of statements uh, happening. Fine. If that is happening, and you are communicating with the distorted elements, you lose being effective as a speaker.
Okay.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because people can sense every cell, every nerve, every single pore of the body is going to convey this message that look, it's not convincing us. Fine. So that's very important to keep it in mind. And when I mean these days, I'm sure you must also be coming across many a times, uh, storytelling is an art, and induce this, integrate storytelling in your learning and development, in your trainings and blah blah in your sessions. I know what is storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever
It
think
is.
about it?
Uh-huh. To just arrange the things in the order and just put it in the form and to communicate it so that it becomes interesting for the listener.
Fantastic. Yes, we all remember our childhood days where our grandparents, they used to tell us, our parents used to tell us stories. Fine. And the stories were told in very interesting manner. And every story
The
had,
truth should come in front of us.
yeah, so there's been a good learning. So storytelling, when it comes to, and we're talking about this point in how to be an effective speaker, and I'm putting this point here. I mean to say, story is what? When you are an effective speaker, so please make sure that you quote stories. That means the incidences, of your life, of your professional life, of
Mm-hmm.
your own observations. Because as a facilitator, I have always made sure that I have delivered, the real life experiences on every
Okay.
point. Because if that is missing, the connect with the audiences is not going to happen.
Yes.
Because the
Mm-hmm.
content is just a backdrop. मुझे you know information नहीं देना है how many mountains are there in the world, how many mountains are there in India, and what is the highest mountain range, and what is the name and all that. So where people will sit because they'll have to crack some um, IAS of your some government commissioned examinations and all that. So where they need to make notes and all that. So when it's my domain, so when I'm training people, so I make sure that we have valid observations shared with the candidates, because that's how you become effective. The message which we want to send across, the concept of any points and communication skills which we want to elaborate, and in a form of a story we are discussing that, so that message goes louder, strong, and deeper.
Yes,
Fine?
even like people can remember that particular concept or the particular
Yes,
thought conveyed in
exactly.
the form of a
Fine.
story.
Yes.
As
And
it comes
empathy,
into it.
empathy is very, very important, because storytelling helps us in engaging people. So same goes with empathy. So if we are empathetic towards people, we are able to catch hold of their attention. Fine. And not only this, the technical aspect, vocabulary, which I'm sure you know it very well. This is your strong area. Vocabulary, without that, we'll get stuck after every single word, or maybe after every small expression, because I am short of words. Fine.
Okay.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
very important to keep ourselves to become an avid reader, because that's how the vocabulary keeps on coming to us. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I say this? Mastering, the voice modulation, the tone and pitch. Again, this is a science. This is something which all of us can understand, and we can work up on these skills within us. We have beautiful husky voice singers like Usha Uttup, and we have beautiful melody like Lata Mangeshkar and Asha Bhonsle also. So every uh, voice modulation, whether you are a thick voice, a chorus voice, or whatever, so rough voice, or
Yes, by practicing like modulation and intonation actually
yes,
changes the meaning of the sentence you're putting
correct,
across.
correct. Because there are no teleprompters with all these skills, and you will have to work on yourself. Even if you are becoming a YouTuber, you're becoming an influencer, you're becoming you're shooting your own videos, you're sending across some messages through your videos or your audio messages, whatever, or you are planning that you're getting into a profession. Because I don't think so. One is there are exclusive profiles where
Mm-hmm.
communication cannot be separated day in and out from you. Fine. That's the nature of your job. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Work, but still you will be interacting with people, boss, right? So interactions with the people is never going to stop you. And even if you're an accounts person, you are a chief functionary officer, you still find that your job is just to look after the balance sheets, nothing beyond that. Baba ye to khulega, और इसके थ्रू ही बोलना है. So how are you going to create an impact? Fine. Effective speaker means you're creating an impact which is desired, and that does what is desired, that you only know what end result are you expecting from this conversation. And last but
Mm-hmm.
not the least, I would like to say one strong point which I have experienced in all these 27 years of my career. I have found people have got positions, they're working, they're drawing heavy packages. I really respect them because they are in chairs, But the moment we all open up, we all we all start speaking, you know, that shows volumes about how we have been groomed all these years of our life.
Yeah.
Fine. So grooming is not only done by our parents. Uh,
Mhm.
that is the formal institution. The schools have been the formal institution. Society, you picked up from the society in and out because your movements have been there, and your own experiential learning and your all, thought expressions, everything combines together. So it speaks a lot about how your conditioning has been all throughout your life. Fine. uh,
Mhm.
Everybody
Yes.
can work. That's very very important. They feel like they have the power, they're sitting in that power chair, that's the authority, and their voice is the authority. So doesn't matter how brash, how bad their style of conversation is, what message they are conveying, what they are conveying, how they are conveying is, how aggressively they are, the tone, their behavior, the pitch, everything speaks volumes about them. Because the leadership position, if that is something, uh, I doubt if the conversations are going to get extended. And we are talking about India becoming very soon a developed nation. And we are
Yeah.
comparing our country with US, where at the age of 60, people get into the job market as freshers, and America doesn't deny.
Mm-hmm.
So here we decide the retirement age on our own.
Yeah.
We don't care about the life of the person, skilled, qualified person. They're sitting jobless just because you have your own criterias, muddled.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of aspects every organization will have to take care of. Like, I remember when I have, you know, used NLP in my communication training session. So I have always said this in the corporates wherever I had corporate assignments, and we had employees to be trained, and head of the departments used to sit there. Every leader will have to take care of the business,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a learnable skill. The extension, the mode of discussion can be so interesting, where people would love to sit for hours with you to discuss. They would never feel frenzied, and they would never feel like this meeting should end now. Fine. If it is happening, so you're always saying this. Sometimes you may have also come across where people say this, what is the point? Just come to the point because I don't have time. Just come to the point and we'll talk sometime later. Just tell me what is the agenda. Fine. Because he has weak communication skills, and that's unhealthy practice. So if these are the kind of practices with which we are working at senior profiles, definitely values trickle down from top to bottom.
You are really right, and it was like such an insightful and detailed session on like how to be an effective speaker. And I can say it's a plum day for me when I learned so many things that you have put across your point in the way and going it very deep. And it was really good. And apart from like imparting the training, what else? What else do you provide? The other services?
Pallavi, I provide counseling and coaching in NLP, that is psychotherapy concepts. So being a psychotherapist, so we have, how do we rewire our thought process, because uh, cognitive powers with which we all are blessed with, so that's amazing power with we all human beings. And everything, when we talk about language also, the assimilation of the language, the verbal output, which is happening, it is happening because we are translating these sounds into words. and
Mm-hmm.
for the verbal output. So now this translation of sounds into words, this is an art and a science both. I have my videos put, in short so that people can understand it, how sound system is so amazing. Every experience which is built up in our life and that is affecting us today, and the cognitive powers which are responsible for all of us to be an effective speaker, so those cognitive powers, they have got thousands and thousands and maybe hundreds and hundreds of experiences in the memory. Those experiences are not letting us speak the way we want to, the way we want the people to understand us. Fine, because some way or the other, there is some pain or some factor which is bothering, and that is visible in our everyday conversation. Fine. So
Mm-hmm.
when I'm coaching people on one-on-one basis, so when I'm coaching them how to uh, reprogram yourself, because neuroplasticity is the ability of the human uh, you know uh, brain.
Mm-hmm.
Now people gradually have started understanding that they don't have to go to psychiatrist, because a new a line of professionals is available, and it's coming up well, where you can get in touch with them. And uh, with every organization, I think there can be one NLP coach who can really help people to work smoothly, who can help them overcome their challenges, even if it is at work. We can identify what are the improvement areas with them, and we can help them reach out to the desired goals, because there are a lot of stumbling blocks. I'm no different. I've also grown in the same phase. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
The lot of learnings which have happened, when you're, see, what happens is, when you're going through, you're growing through that.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
growth doesn't happen in dark. It doesn't happen in any tunnel. When I'm going through, all the phases that I've been going through, so I have been growing through. Fine. So story of our own growth is standing tall. And uh, I do have people where they have health issues, where they have emotional setbacks, uh, that so restless at work, they are not happy. So how they can be happy and productive at the same time in their job? Because every organization would want their employees to be productive, they would want their employees to be happy, but are they ready to understand this? Number one. Number two, are they creating such a platform? Number three, are people willing to open up themselves with what are the issues they are bothered with, so that they, now the another problem which people, when they're facing these issues, they feel like, shall we open up with this person? So if you're hiding your story, your pain, your issues from the doctor, so the treatment is not possible.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that's
it's
very
not.
important. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of issues. Happiness is one big thing. We talk a lot about happiness is not an external ingredient which has to come. Every organization would want, putting a smiley doesn't make every organization happy. If we've got so many smileys and we say we are a happy organization, not that, may be a visual, but the inside happiness, if it is not with those smileys exactly, fine, of course there is something wrong. Fine. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things are there. So one-on-one basis coaching, counseling in NLP techniques, and how language can go better. Our everyday communication, when it comes to professional managerial communication, boardroom meetings, uh, expansion of businesses, everything goes better. So how NLP can help, because it's all to do with linguistic programming.
Mm-hmm.
NLP is neuro linguistic programming. So linguistic means language, all to do with language, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Neuro is a big science.
Okay, good. So, like anybody whosoever wants to join your classes, so how they can contact you?
One is that we can. I have my Insta account. I have my Facebook account. I'm on LinkedIn. So my every account is talking about who I am. Fine. I haven't yet created officially those kind of Calendly meets and all those kind of things, but they can directly reach out to me. It's taking me some time for certain reasons. So I'm taking my own time for certain reasons. Fine. I'm sure I'll come up with that because it has got other aspects involved in it. Fine. But till the time that particular window comes up, so my profiles are open. People can directly reach out to me, and
Okay, I will
I
tag your
assure,
profile in the description.
yeah, you can share my profile, and I assure them the best of the services because um, I mean it. I mean the development, growth, and upliftment of the people from their current state to the desired state, and that's very very important. That's the purpose of my life, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
whole story of my life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a really nice session with you and a lot of insightfulness you have provided. Thank you so much for coming, and thanks to all the viewers and for your nice comments. Thank you, all of you. And hope to have one more session on NLP with you,
Yes.
where people can learn more about it and how they can change and rewire their brain.
Yes, we can have, because there are many modalities. Even within the NLP, also there are many modalities. So, what is it that wide range of services are there? It's not only
Mhm.
one particular aspect. As we have in communications, it's we cannot separate it when we say that I only want to learn vocabulary. Nobody can learn vocabulary. Pallavi, your forte. I'm sure you may be coming across a lot of people who would be asking you the same thing. How can I enrich my vocabulary? Is
Yes,
there
this
is
is
there a
like now I work on the overall development of the child, because
yeah.
just one aspect it doesn't help you to improve and show you the results. They are all interlinked.
Yes. So we cannot say if there's a pain in the finger, the pain is traveling to the entire. Of course, the pain is here more with this finger, but through muscles and through veins, it is spreading. Some part of other other some portion somewhere in the hand is also in pain. Other fingers also get disturbed. Fine. So that's very important that we need to understand overall development is holistic development is overall development. So we cannot have
Right.
180-degree or 45-degree or a 90-degree curve when it comes to human development with any skill, whether it is Pallavi Dhingra as a trainer with English communication in English language skills, or it is Sarabjit with communication skills and NLP coaching and counseling. A 360-degree approach is a must. So if 360-degree approach is not there with us, people will come and they'll try to bargain with us. Look, मुझे इतना ही करना है.
Mm-hmm.
So अगर आपको इतना ही करना है, so it's almost like I just need half a tablet, and the
Mm-hmm.
and the medication says no, you require full tablet. You cannot make it half.
Mm-hmm.
Fine,
Yes.
because that's the requirement. That's the need. You want to do half on your own, but the need is one complete tablet of 180 mg, or 100 mg, whatever. Just taking one example, chota sa, so that people can understand it. Because that
Yes, you are.
prescription is decided by the practitioner. Fine. Any
Mhm.
prescription is decided by the practitioner. So when you are prescribing them something, you will prescribe them what is it that they need, what is the gap.
Yes, right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was really nice connecting with you. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pallavi. Thank you for this opportunity. God bless you. Bye bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.